All right. All right, so we're back, guys. It's your boy Resistingframe again, and we're on to Mega Man 6. Since we did start the credits on the last rock and roll game fast, we're gonna start this game fast, and we're gonna explain as we go on what this game's about. So let's start it in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, guys. So we're playing Mega Man 6 any percent, and we actually had a bet in with my friends, my fellow Mega Man friends, that how many deaths would I accrue between these three games, and I think that I already reached the high tier point of this. I think I died already more than 7 times in rock and roll alone. But anyways, we're moving on to Mega Man 6, and this game I can actually commentate and play at the same time, so we're in luck here at least. We're starting with Windman stage. It's actually the preferred start for Mega Man 6. It's an easy buster fight, and as well, and we're gonna start from weakness order from that point. This is gonna be a quick death. I shouldn't talk while slide canceling, but anyways, we're back. All right, so one of the biggest things about Mega Man 6 is that you cannot slide normally. You actually have to slide cancel. And what slide canceling does is that you start your slide, you cannot end it normally, and you either have to press the opposite direction of your slide or press the jump button again, and that will allow you to cancel the slide. And because of that notion alone, Mega Man 6 is one of the, in my opinion, one of the hardest speedruns as well. And we're already up to Windman. And one of the things that you're gonna notice when I play with Windman is that you're gonna see me slide back and forth. And that's because for every time I slide cancel and start my charge again, I actually gain about a frame of charge. So it allows me to just charge a little bit faster. And that's one of the consequences of sliding back and forth. Alright, we're done with the first boss. You're also going to see me jump from side to side on the right wall. For whatever reason, we don't understand why, but you actually mitigate some lag just by jumping to the side. And yes, Mega Man 6 has another amazing soundtrack. My favorite is Nightman. And we're moving on to Flame. So like I said before, we're going weakness order. We're gonna have to avoid some pits when they when they get flamed on. So we're gonna keep going here. You're gonna see me turn cancels. I prefer to do turn cancels on the ledges, on short ledges, just because they allow for me to jump off easier instead of like maybe triple mashing the A button. Alright, so Roland didn't shoot us early. So I want to take care of these tellies as fast as possible, because once they hit the oil with flames, they light up and they become instant kill, and they progress even as you die. So if you light up and then you take a death, they continue to be lit up as well. And also some pits actually correspond with others, so they will light up a pit on the top level, and for whatever reason the pit on the bottom will be lit up as well. And also I gotta be careful with these flame trolls, because they will troll you. And we're back. So one of the things that we want to avoid and want to not have happen is they just do it just to troll me. You don't want the boss to jump a lot. This will cause a lot of time to lose. But there you go. We only had a couple of jumps, and we're off to the second stage already. Flame Man also spits that hot fire. And Fire Blast we get is actually one of the strongest weapons in the game, and we're going to be using it quite often. And here we're going to take a lot of intentional damage boosts. Now, now that we're in Blizzard Man stage, we're actually going to be focusing a little bit more on the A cancels, the jump cancels, because if you try to do a turn cancel on the ice, you kind of whiplash for a bit and you kind of rock it back the other way. So we kind of want to avoid that, and we just want to progress everything here. I disagree with that hit. And here we're going to try our best to go for butter. Oh, nope, I messed it up already. Or do I? Do I have time? Nope. I kind of, you can actually go through that in the whole one cycle, but I was kind of hesitant. You kind of don't want to lose too much time over some frames, especially in a marathon run, especially since I'm doing more than one game. And we can actually go for a special trick there, right next to the bombs, which is called bomb skip. Sometimes when you jump off ledges, you kind of get like a little sub-pixel they get pushed into, and that allows you to slide under the bombs. But if you don't have it, it's an automatic death. And I kind of don't want to push my luck anymore, especially after that rock and roll run. Yeah, and there's actually a lot of questions. Who's Mr. X? You know, the Mr. X is the one that let out all the robots, you know, kidnapped the robots and turned them into his personal killing machines. But we don't know who he is. We're going to try to find out. And here we are doing Plant Man. So I am going to be going for plant forms, and I'm going to say it early what it is, because when it's time to do it, it's very hard to explain. So later on in the stage, you're going to see a lot of these plants that you're supposed to kind of shoot them open so they turn into big platforms. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to jump on them, and we only have about four frames. 4 frames to jump before we get tossed down. So we're gonna see how fast we can get this done. It's okay, we got the health boost here. Sometimes these grasshoppers don't want to jump, and sometimes they do, so we don't know. Nice one-shot gorilla. You can kill them in one jump, but you have to have very good jump mashing. So the plant forms is coming up real quick. I'm gonna just take a moment of silence because I need to really focus on this part. Alright, whew, that was tough. Alright, so we got that out the way. And next we're gonna try to do plant manip. So we can actually manip Plant Man into going crazy, haywire for a bit. We'll see if he jumps right. Yes. Too far. Really? So we did get Plant Manip, but I kind of whiffed on the last the 6-hit. You can get a 6-hit cycle and make it easy for yourself, but I whiffed, and it's kind of hard to kind of gauge the shots because they kind of lag the screen as soon as you get there, and of course it's a close range It's a close range weapon, so. But it's alright, we still got through. We still got the plant manip as well. We got the plant form, so overall I would say it's a successful stage. And the next two stages are a little bit more straightforward. There really isn't like any high tech going on, but these are the type of stages that you kind of can pile up little mistakes on the way. Little mistakes like that, they kind of just add up. So we're gonna try to go for a little sexy jump here, nice, and we're gonna try to go for another sexy jump. There we go, right off the ledge into a double shot, into a small jump double shot. So one of the things that makes this game difficult, along with the slide cancel, is that you kind of also have to worry even more about energy drops, because your slides have to be really well timed and really well executed, and on top of that you already have to worry about having like these little stops in between. So you guys know that picking up energy stops the game for just a quick second or long, depending on what energy drop you get. And here we're going for a mash jump. Can get it good. We're gonna see if we can get under this. Nice. All right, so pretty decent stage, and we're off to Plant Man. I mean, we're off to Tomahawk Man, which we're gonna use Plant Man's weapon to take care of him. It's a close range weapon, so we're gonna see if he jumps first to kind of get quick. And I messed up. So to be fair, what I'm trying to do for this marathon, I didn't know I would actually have chance, like in between time. I thought I would have to like pop one game into the other. So what I'm doing is I'm playing all three of these games with one single controller. And that seems like, oh, you should already be doing that. But the thing is that actually, each game I actually had a different controller that I used. For Rock and Roll, I used a different controller. Mega Man 6, I used a different controller. And Mega Man 5, which we're gonna see later, I used a different controller. So it's kind of difficult to do these runs back to back to back to back. At the same time, the mechanics are so different, so to get used to these mechanics right away, it takes some time. But we'll see. I'm a trooper. We'll get through it fast. And that's the only time we're going to see that enemy in this game. But we will see him in the next game, I think. Ooh, that was close. You can't get any closer than that on the ledge. Here's one of the secret routes that you would need to take in order to get the beat letters. In this game, in order to get beat letters, you just have to take an alternate route to the boss gate. And for Yamato Man, this route, the alternate route is actually the faster route. So this is about the only time you're gonna see an alternate route. You can go under, and it takes a little bit longer because you kind of have to go under and then up, climb your way up to the top. So the thing about bosses here, at least for most of them, is that they tend to attack in two-shot patterns. What that means is that they will attack one time, and if they attack again with the same attack, they're guaranteed to do a different attack. This is definitely the case for Yamato Man, where if you see him throw 2 spears, you can guarantee that he's going to jump and throw his triple spear on the next shot. Or is it 4 spears? I actually never counted. I just try to avoid them, but yeah, so That's one way you can actually see the enemy's weakness. I think the only boss that doesn't really apply to is probably Nightman, and just because he can jump as many times, he can charge at you. And here we're gonna go through a difficult section right away, right off the bat, where we're gonna try to get through this. And we're gonna take the intentional boost. And here we're gonna switch to Jet. So we're off to a good start so far. The scary part is actually gonna come in a bit, because what's gonna happen is that we're gonna have these little pots in the way, and we're gonna be really close to the ledges here. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we're good. That was my bad. My finger slipped and I ended up going the opposite way. But luckily, no deaths occurred. And these nerds, these mad nerds we call them, they actually, for the most part, require 2 hits to take down. The first hit makes them go crazy and the second hit eliminates them. Wow, my turn cancels are really garbaggio right now. Don't jump. Of course you're gonna jump. Why not? And you're gonna jump again. And the third time. So you definitely don't want Nightman jumping around. Of course, the Yamato Spears, they can pierce through his shield. Normally, every other weapon can bounce off it, except for also Power Suit. So Power Suit, you can also break through the shield, give him damage. But the fastest way is definitely Yamato Shield. And we're going to try to go for a little quick trick here in the beginning called Miracle Jump, where we actually have to do a perfect slide. And if we're off by like a frame or so, I'm not sure by how many pixels or frames or whatever the count is, it will give us a full jump into the pit of death. So we're going to see. There we go, we got it. So if I was off by a little bit, it would actually launch me into that Metroid looking thing. And we're off, so this is Mega Man's, oh crap, this is Mega Man's mandatory underwater stage. Hey, we're gonna do water miracle jump again. Let's try it again. Can we go 2 for 2? There we go, 2 for 2. You guys get to see miracle jump again. So this Mega Man's obligatory night water stage. Of course, you have to be careful here. You don't have to. You can't jump. You can't jump too high. And almost fluffed it. And you can't jump too low. Again, like I said, it's kind of hard to get used to all these physics, game to game. But hey, we're trying. And here comes another difficult strat. We're gonna try to do it. There we go, we got it. Alright, so that, what's intended is that you kind of you have to wait till the top water gets to its lowest to give you the high jump. It's pretty much like a reverse water, so for some reason, I don't know how it works exactly. It's so weird. Alright, so I still have enough for Centaur Man. Centaur Man, Centaur Man, Centaur Man, Centaur Man, Centaur Man. Centaur Man. It's a little song we have. Does this game have subpixels? Plenty, man, and sometimes they will give you an extra boost on the ledge Alright, so we're done. He wants to be the centaur of attention. Alright, so it might be only in Greek. So we're done with the 8 robos and we're moving on to the X stages. And I just have to make it to like the first half of this stage, actually towards the end of the stage, because we will get a big life drop. And one of the things you notice about Centaur Man is he disappears, and actually he'll be able to flash you too. But in order for him to flash you, you do have to be out of iframes. So as long as you or Centaur Man are in iframes early on, new iframes, then you guys should be good. He won't freeze. And here we're moving on up. All right, there we go. It's a little bit random when they jump and how they jump. And here we get all the lives back. And a little quick ladder jump, guys. So one of the interesting things about this game is that when you get off a ladder, you have a little bit of standing frames. So you can actually go down the ladder, or jump on the ladder, get down the ladder, and have enough standing frames to actually perform our jump. And there's our first boss. Oh, that is true. This game doesn't explain how the centaur, the Night Crusher works. Can actually control. And we're moving on to X2, which has the most RNG boss of them all. Ooh, that was a tight jump. Those Mets hitbox are impossible. The third Met turned around! Shout out to Papat. Alright, so it's completely random how Power Piston moves. It can juke up, it can go down. We do have like a general tip for those that are actually trying to speedrun this game or thinking about it. The wrench on the left side of the stage, you kind of want to have one foot or the other depending on where he's at, and that should kind of guarantee you hits in between. So that's one thing. And we're moving on up. For the majority of X3, we're actually going to be using Jet because it's just easier to use. But when you guys are using Jet, you kind of want to be mindful that you're not actually using Jet a lot, just because it's actually faster to walk horizontally than to actually be on your Jet. Moving on. I changed a little bit early, so I was actually supposed to transition off the pause screen earlier, and for some reason, some spots for some reason, when you press pause, it takes a little bit longer to get into the menu. We call it the 1,000 years pause. Here's a little trick as well. Punch, 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 punch. And you definitely don't want, when you're fighting Matongar C, that's his actual name, Matongar C, you actually do not want to have those balls bouncing around like that. You want the straight ones. But yeah, faster to deal with it. And now here comes the hardest stage in the game. And what do you know? It has purple in it. I feel like all these stages have purple, like as a sign that don't play me. I am dangerous. And what happens here is we're gonna be mixing in a lot of slide cancels with small ledges, all the while dodging turrets and Peats. And then here we have the Coltons coming up, which is another difficult stage. They will fire their second bullet, I believe, as soon as it reaches off the screen. We're gonna take intentional damage there just to get through here. And here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buffer my shot and then hold the jump button. It's gonna allow me to give a shot here, and then I have a chance. And there we go. Pay close attention to the spelling in this part. My scheme for world domination has failed. D, there is no E. So one of the reasons I enjoy playing this game in the English version is because of that reason. There's a spelling error in this game. Fail D, guys. So pop up them fail Ds. And it was Dr. Wily all along. Wow. Who would have guessed? And we're on to Wily stage now. So there is a secret gate here coming up soon. And the only way to get through to that secret door is you actually have to hover right before the transition. So if you miss the if you do not hover, I don't think there's really a way to do it. So I'm gonna just be mindful of when to do it. And there we go. And with the boss coming up, it's actually a real pain because I know how it works, but it's really hard to explain why Mechasaurus hitbox is really wonky. So pretty much the way the Yamato spears travel and the way Mechasaurus hitboxes is that there's I guess a couple of dead pixels or dead frames in between the shots, and so even though you make contact with his face, you don't make hit contact. So we'll see if, as you guys can see, it's happening to me already. A lot actually. What's going on? Wow. So so I was trying to do double hits. There. So you kind of have to time your position of your jumps, and then you can actually hit twice. But for some reason it wasn't working. I was ending up in... I have no idea, man. It's I don't know how to explain it. I just know it has to do in terms of getting the contact. Is you kind of have to be in specific positions that pretty much guarantee the hitbox lands in the right pixel. So if you're ever having trouble with Mechasaurus, just wait until you're on the platform and you reach the corner of the wall, and that should guarantee you the hit. As you saw towards the end, I was landing consecutive hits. Ooh. That was close, guys. That was really close. So, yeah, it's a really wonky way to explain. All right, we're moving on. Here's we start getting our refill for Silver Tomahawk. And you kind of want to menu towards the opposite way here, so when you come up again here, all you need to do is press left, up, up, and you should be in flame. There we go. And we're up in the boss fights. Now, one of my favorite things about this game is that I do not need to worry about the boss fights order. So you saw in Rock and Roll, there's actually a specific order. There's a specific order that we had to do. And you kind of have to be wary of that. In Mega Man 6, I do not have to worry about that at all. They go from the top right all the way to the top left corner. Of course, I do still have to pay attention to bad RNG here. And let's hope I don't mess this up again. So both Tomahawk and Flash are exact ammo enemies. So one of the things that I have to get used to game is that pretty much I have to respect the iframes, guys. And here I'm actually switching inside the boss room because for whatever reason, after defeating Windman and going into Centaur, when you switch, it kind of slows down a lot when you go to the next menu. So, and we got actually the God pattern. God pattern there is where you actually want him to just go side to side. And I'm actually going to take a preferred route here where I'm going to jump here first just because it's easier to get into the final teleport from the last boss. And I really have to be careful here of my Tomahawk ammo, and I will explain why in a bit. try to go for the double plant manip. So we got it in the first stage, and we're gonna see if we can get it again. Do we get it? No. That's all right. We didn't get it. Dreamer. There's no I in frames. That's true. And we're almost approaching the end, so here, point of advice is that you don't want to slide off that ledge, because then that energy just becomes inaccessible. You won't be able to go to the left and get it. I do not understand why they made the game that way. It's just the way it is. And here, the reason why I wanted to be careful with all my tomahawk ammo is because for all 3 faces coming up, the weakness is tomahawk. So I kind of have to be careful here as well. And here we can get an early hit. And if he goes into the right middle corner, right middle, that's not it. We can get an extra off-screen hit, so we're gonna see if he gets it. But time is coming up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, we didn't get it, so it's all right. And that is it. Oof. All right, so 36-25 is still Do we need intermission, guys? I just want to get into this Mega Man 5